Our generation's moral imperative to take responsibility for what our children learn. We must turn our focus right now to the message and content they're exposed to on a daily basis through social media, the bullying, the experience online and in person.
That was the First Lady, Melania Trump, speaking at the UN yesterday about cyberbullying. So how did the left, how do liberals react? Well, they attacked the First Lady online. During an interview, Hillary Clinton even took a shot at the First Lady for not doing enough. Really? Joining us now, Fox News contributors Tommy Lahren and Jessica Tarlow. You know, if this ever when we criticize Michelle Obama, conservatives, when she injected herself into politics and said, for the first time in my adult life, I'm proud of my country, the left went nuts. They've made fun of Melania's shoes, what she wears to Hurricane Harvey aftermath. Where's your side defending women here?
Right here.
You're it?
No, there are a couple of us out there.
Hillary Clinton didn't.
No, well, the point that Hillary Clinton made was a policy point, and I think that's completely sound. Don't pick on her outfit. It also was fabulous. But Melania Trump picking up cyberbullying as her patron saint cause after what Donald Trump tweeted even just last weekend, right? The golf swing and the golf ball hitting Hillary in the back.
Really? Are you that humorless? Are you really that humorless?
You really laughed at that, and if that had been a conservative,
it happens.
If the golf
just
ball
look
had
at
gone
pictures
into
about me. It's
I
funny.
laugh at you all the time on the internet.
Oh,
for
great.
Sure.
You know what? I don't think Tommy gets hit harder than me. You know, Tommy, you just don't do what the left does. Conservatives wouldn't do it, and if they did do it, they'd be ridiculed and raked over the coals.
Well, here's my question for Jessica. I mean, isn't this supposed to be a platform the left loves? We're talking about bullying. We're talking about cyberbullying. We're talking about being an advocate for that. Melania Trump is coming out in something that's not partisan at all. This is just a human thing. But yet they attack her for what she's wearing. And again, where are the feminists? They never come out. They never come out when Sarah Huckabee Sanders is called the Butch Queen.
The feminists are everywhere. They're just not supporting Kellyanne Conway, who advocates for policies that hurt women. They're not thrilled that Hope hit.
Stop.
Why?
She does not.
We're not talking about Kellyanne Conway.
Really?
We're talking about Melania Trump.
You think that if you advocate for an agenda...
We're talking about cyberbullying. We're talking about Melania Trump advocating for an end to cyberbullying. But yet the left goes after her and they ridicule her. And I don't see the feminists coming out saying, hey, leave a woman alone, leave an empowered female alone. I don't see the feminists doing that, Jessica. I don't.
I've seen a lot of...
Thank you so much for having me.
I've seen a lot of your clips and I can't help but think whether you actually mean half the things that you say and whether you're just trying to get attention. Do you actually believe in what you say, or are you just trying to stir the pot?
Well, a lot of people have that reaction. A lot of people have that question. I don't know why it should be weird that I don't know why it should be weird that a gay guy would be skeptical or fearful of Islam. I don't see anything strange about a gay person liking the Bible and liking the First Amendment and liking low taxes. I don't find anything odd about me, really. In order to find me peculiar or strange, or in order to think that perhaps I'm putting it on, you have to sign up to this idea of identity politics, which suggests that just because somebody is black or gay or a woman, they have to have particular political or ideological positions. I reject that idea.
Well, I don't care whether you're gay or whatever. I'm just saying, you know, some of the things are just so outrageous, and the way you put them, I think, is he like a real-life Borat that's just out there to make fun of everyone and
what do you think is outrageous? What do you think that I've said is outrageous?
Well,
give me something and perhaps I can explain it for you.
You've called rape culture a fantasy. You've likened feminism to cancer. You've said that women on the pill don't look right, they don't talk right. But you suggest that we don't...
Well, all those things are true.
OK, you said that
all those things are true.
Do you really believe it,
Rape culture on American college campuses, you know, to say that there is a rape culture implies that there is a system or an environment which encourages rape. That doesn't exist on American college campuses. And just to believe in the statistics that feminists peddle, that's 1 in 4, 1 in 5 women is going to be sexually assaulted in her time on campus, you'd have to believe that American college campuses have rape rates that approach those of the Congo, where rape is used as a weapon of war. We don't reward rapists in our society. We put them in prison. on the feminism question, women agree with me. 4/5 of American women do not describe themselves as feminist, and just 7% of British women describe themselves as feminist. I would imagine that Australia, being a very sensible country, would share those views too. It's only journalists who insist on political positions and insist on feminism in public. Actual people at home agree with me.
I've heard you say that with almost every interview that I saw you do. But on your statement...
Then you should ask different questions, darling.
And from the World Cinema in Herne Hill to our own little cinema here in SW1, Monroe joins us now. Thanks for joining us and for your take. Is Britain a deeply racist society?
We live in a society where we won't even talk about it. So until we actually we've only just really started talking about modern day racism. When we talk about racism, we're always, either talking, sorry to bring up what you talked about, but we're either comparing to America, which is wholly, wholly different. The history is very, very different. We celebrate the empire here, but the empire has a horrible history for people of colour. But we have a multicultural society. So there's this imbalance, and especially when it comes to education, the whole system needs to change.
But let me look at education. Let's look at the figures on education. 33% of white kids go to university or further education. 37% of black kids go to university or further education. 67% of Indian kids go to university or further education. 76% of Chinese kids go to university or further education. Where's the racism in that?
I'm talking about how people's history and how people's
But I'm talking about now and the chances of young children.
I'm not talking about their...
But what's wrong with these figures?
I'm about to tell you. I'm not talking about their academic performance. I'm talking about how we are taught about each other. If black kids aren't being taught about their histories, if we're being taught, that white history is paramount, that's essentially feeding into a white supremacist narrative. We can't be teaching kids that white is the default, that white people's history is the sole history of this country. We need to be taught about black contributions and other contributions of other cultures within society.
But for most people, what racism is and what they'd like to improve is the chances of people getting on regardless of the colour of your skin.
That's not just racism, though. I'm talking about the mental health.
But it's still quite an important thing. And these figures would suggest that as a country, we're doing reasonably well.
No, that's facts and figures.
But you think, facts and figures are important. But you think,
I think it goes deeper
that we are irredeemably racist, don't you?
What, this society?
Quite
yeah, I do. I do. Unfortunately, I do. I think that Britain, the success of Britain is literally based on racism.
And do you think we're irredeemably sexist as well?
100%.
But if you take something like gender,
I think
we are making advances in terms of gender pay.
All men smashing down the patriarchy, we are going to be on that page. So I think, yes,
but we can make progress.
I think we can make progress and we can combat it.
But if it's irredeemable, you can't make progress.
I mean, it's fighting human nature, and humans are flawed.
Humans are flawed, but you seem to think that white people are uniquely evil.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that individual people are unique.
Well,
I'm talking about society.
No. You said whites are the most violent and oppressive people.
Well, yeah.
That's what you said in your film.
And if you're going to go back
so that would seem to me that
statistics point that out too.
Really? Well,
yes.
The Chinese were massacring Chinese and other races long before they'd ever met a white person. Attila the Hun wasn't white. It's the same in the subcontinent if you go back hundreds of years as well. The genocide in Rwanda was black on black. So is the Congo, which is the rape capital of the world. These things have got nothing to do with white people.